Broadcasting live from our Columbia, Maryland headquarters, they are founders of Hard Money Bankers, REI 360, and are international bestsellers with their book, The Whiteboard. Here are Chris Haddon and Jason Balin.
Hey everyone, Chris and Jason here in our office, the HMB and REI 360 offices in Columbia, Maryland. Today we are talking about the power of the mastermind, the mastermind group. In case you've never heard of it before, this is the way it works. Business people get together. They can be from same industry, different industries, whatever. It's been going on for a long, long time, and they share best practices and ideas and strategies, and they help each other out in some really, really awesome ways. We're going to get into how it all works. It originally came from a book that you might know called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, famous business book from the 30s, where Napoleon Hill was commissioned by someone to study some of the wealthiest and most successful businessmen in America and find out what these guys had in common that made them so successful. And one of the chapters, one of the things they had in common was masterminding, right? And he coined the term. And these guys back in the day would get together in different capacities with other successful people, talk business, help each other out, and then it became more of a formal thing, right?
Yeah, and I think your key word, like you just said, was successful. You know, it was all what successful people did. And our first mastermind that we probably joined was a few years ago, and it's obviously taken our business, personal level to a complete different planet just from being involved and understanding it. And There's so many business owners, real estate investors, real estate agents. There's so many business owners that are not involved in a mastermind, and we, obviously really recommend it. We're going to talk in a little bit of ways that you can get involved in a mastermind in a second. But obviously, we know the importance. I mean, we've paid upwards of $25,000 for 1 year just to be involved in a mastermind that was. A recent one we did was heavy marketing related, and it backed out times 10.
And instantly. Like, we had made the money back from stuff that we learned there within a couple months.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously there's so many importances. If you've never heard of a mastermind, definitely research it and get yourself involved. Again, going back to that word successful, pretty much all successful business owners that we know are involved in it, because you can't do it yourself, right? It's impossible. You need other people. And also in a second we're going to talk about the difference between an in-industry and an out-of-industry mastermind, because they are something very very different, and you have big takeaways from the different ones depending on which ones you're involved in.
Yeah, let's break that down for a second. Some people prefer doing their masterminds with industry people, and some people prefer getting the outside perspective of people not in their industry, and there's really a lot of value to both. It works both ways. One, in real estate and in other industries, the first thing you might say is, well, I don't know if I want to be in a mastermind with people who do exactly what I do, especially not in my geographic area, because they might I might be giving away secrets to my competition, or I might be enhancing their business, which is going to hurt mine. And if you ask anybody who's been through masterminds, that really never happens. There are plenty of deals out there to go around.
Yeah.
There are tons. There are tons. And you're not going to take somebody just by telling them a couple things and triple their business and then put yourself out. It just doesn't happen, right? So don't worry about that. There's a lot of value that you can gain. And we've done in industry mastermind groups. There's a ton of value that you can gain from people who do what you do.
And also a big thing from being everybody in the same market or everybody in the same industry is you got to stop treating people as competition. Treat them as allies. Everyone's working on the same team. Not every single person, wants that exact same thing the exact same way for the exact same price. There's so many different opportunities. You can learn a lot more from partnering with people, and the way that they're doing it compared to the way that you're doing it. Forget competition. It doesn't matter how saturated your market is. If you're a real estate agent in a certain geographic area, it doesn't matter how many other agents are there. If you're a real estate investor flipping a house or buying rentals in one particular area or neighborhood, there's plenty of opportunity. There's plenty of business. So
yeah, for sure.
And there's more you can gain from other people helping you and you helping other people than what you can lose from potentially missing out on one deal.
Yeah, for sure. Also, the out of industry, other industry mastermind groups, like the one that we paid a good amount of money for to be in for a year. there's a lot of great things that come from that. I mean, one, like I said before, just different perspectives. You know, you're in your business every day. That's kind of where you live in your little bubble. And to have somebody come from a completely different industry and give their take on a problem that you're working on or something you're trying to grow is really, really valuable and really, really cool.
Yeah, and let's kind of get one thing straight related to a mastermind in general compared to what you may think a mastermind is. And I can give you a few different examples based on one we were in for marketing, ones that we've done in the past for our hard money bankers clients locally that have to do with real estate. So for instance, the business that you're in, the transactions that you conduct on a regular basis, nobody is talking about that. Everyone's good at real estate. I'm assuming you're all good at real estate. In the marketing one, everyone's good at marketing. If you weren't, you wouldn't have a business to begin with. So the transactions of real estate we're all in that. We're all good at that, right? And if you're not, we're not ready for that step. You know, get regular coaching, regular consulting in order for that. These are higher level things, high level marketing techniques to get deals, high level business processes, hiring employees, managing employees, much higher staff. I'm looking at my whiteboard right now from one mastermind that we recently did, and some of the key topics are hiring, managing employees, working with contractors, construction, marketing for deals, capital, raising capital, accounting, software, operations. This isn't like the 101 of how to flip a property. Yeah. These are higher level things, and that's what the mastermind's intended for.
Yeah, so that's a good thing to point out, is that once people do get competent in what they're doing, it's not learning the business. Like, there's no reason to have a mastermind of like 7 bad golfers.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like what we're
Gotta use a golf quote again?
I've been thinking about a lot of golf. Anyway, so how do you think people should get started if they've never experienced any kind of mastermind?
I mean, you have to find a mastermind to get involved in and pay for it, or create your own mastermind. And creating your own mastermind is challenging unless you have a big following and you can, you know a lot of people and you have the right personality type to convince people to come. And even if it's a free mastermind, it's challenging to get the right people. And keep in mind, it's the higher end person higher end business owner. If you're a struggling real estate agent, a struggling real estate investor, a struggling business owner, a lot of those times, even though that could work great for you, it's going to be hard for you to get them to get out of their day-to-day lifestyle and collaborate with the group. I mean, the guys in our business that we do loans for that we could help the most through doing a mastermind involving them, they didn't want to come because I'm too busy. It's like, you do 100 deals a year. What are you shouldn't be too busy, right? I know that sounds kind of crazy, that you're so busy because you do 100 deals a year, but you should have proper teams, proper systems, proper things in place. Stop going to be hands-on on a project every day. You're doing way too many projects to begin that. And a lot of the real estate investors that come to the masterminds were the ones that did hundreds of deals, and then they've scaled back to really, really high-end profitable projects because they know this is the best bang for their buck. Or they're doing all that many deals, but they're involved in the higher level things. So too busy is not really an excuse. If you're not doing any transactions, don't get me wrong, like it's not right for you anyways. But so many business owners that could really benefit from this are just too tied up, and they've given themselves a full-time job inside their business working on transactional stuff when they really need to be working on higher level things. And being involved in a mastermind group to share things with like-kind entrepreneurs, like-kind of business owners is a really good resource.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's keep talking about that for a sec, because we do hear that. Masterminds that we've organized ourselves or that other people have that we've attended, when you hear people say like, I can't make it because like I have to work, basically, it's just so short-sighted.
Personal insult.
It's so silly.
Like I get insulted when I hear that.
But it's so short-sighted on the part of that person, because it's like, no, I don't want to do this super awesome, valuable thing that's going to affect my whole business and possibly my whole career and life and everything else in one day because I got to work.
Yeah.
Transactions stuff.
It's like, come on.
Yeah, I get it.
And people who have a good experience with doing masterminds, they just shake their head.
Well, they would give up anything for it. I mean, some guys at our mastermind, some guys at, we were in Russell Brunson's mastermind. That's the person we spent $25,000 to be involved in their group. And everything went around when we had to go to that mastermind. That was top priority. That was the only thing on our calendar that really mattered.
We used to fly to Idaho.
Yeah, several times a year for that. And other mastermind groups, we've been involved. So when I told a few folks that were doing another mastermind, they dropped everything. They're like, fine, that's top priority. And keep in mind, you're in a mastermind all day. Phones are not really ringing. Emails are not really streaming in. And these guys are gigantic in business. They're doing a ton of transactions.
Guys who come from Australia to that mastermind.
So it's something to think about. I'd probably say don't start your own mastermind unless you have a big enough sphere that you can attract the right people. And obviously, you're getting, you go up and present in a mastermind, right? And you're getting value from everybody because they're giving you feedback based on things. But you get so much feedback just from listening to other challenges that people are having. So, if you're looking to get into a mastermind, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. And keep in mind, we're in the real estate industry. The mastermind that we spent a lot of money for was straight marketing and a lot of internet marketing. It had nothing to do with real estate. No one else in that room were even real estate investors, right? It didn't matter. So whatever you're focused in, if it's marketing or depending on what your focus is, do a search. If you want, we can think of a few good resources and we'll comment on this video related to that as well that you can get involved in. But you're really missing the boat if you're not considering getting into a mastermind. And it's not a matter of it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Go look around to all the successful real estate investors. They have two things: they got coaches and they're involved in mastermind groups. And that's kind of the sphere that we're hanging out with because they're good. And keep in mind, and the funny thing is, there's more real estate agents involved in our mastermind than there was investors because they were looking to grow a team. They were sick and tired of going to do open houses on Sundays, going to do listings, taking buyer leads. I mean, some of these guys have teams of huge teams, and they couldn't tell you anything related to an individual property. They don't care. It's they treat it like a business. So are you a business owner? Or are you just kind of giving yourself a job doing transactions every month? So that's kind of where this tangent has gotten. So I think that's good stuff. So as always, anything related to this topic, always here to help. Comment below. Certainly appreciate any feedback you have. It'll help us. It'll help the group. A lot of people are probably surprised of what we just said, of why aren't I in a mastermind group? I think that's important. And some are cheap, some are expensive, and some are free. They're all valuable. You're going to get something out of it. So I encourage you to do so. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and any feedback, comment below. Thanks again.